Hello students, in this particular audio session, I will discuss some of the solved article writing samples. And At first I will discuss some of the article writings that is based on verbal input. And then I will move on to visual input. So, question number 1. Suppose if there is a question related with like this, you are Rachna or Rakesh. You have been asked to write an article for your school magazine titled The Sights and Sounds of Our City. You decide to observe a busy street in the main shopping area to collect material for your article. You note the following. That means some verbal input, that is, some points are given. I am going through those points. Quiet in the morning, then crowded in the afternoon. Housewives out shopping. Vehicular traffic. Noise. Vendors occupying pavements. Stray cattle on the road. Evening. Lights transform the scene. People out for strolling. Strolling actually means walking. Eating. Now these are some of the verbal input. Based on this verbal input, you have to write the article. Now the title, it is given The Sights and Sounds of Our City, and in the question only Rachna, Rakesh been mentioned, so you can write any one name. And then let me just go through some of the important points of how you can construct it. Now you can obviously increase the word limit. Now, how to frame an article? The Sights and Sounds of Our City, that is the title. Now how we will start? Railway road of our city is a very busy street. It has shops, eating places, and residential accommodation above the shops. Now you have to discuss the place where you stay, and not only that, you have to write something about the shops, eating places, then the residential accommodation in that place, because that will help while framing out the ideas. The pavements on either side are occupied by the vendors. And remember, from the verbal input, you have to frame your ideas. So let me continue. The pavements on either side are occupied by the vendors. There are small kiosks of panwalas and the ironing man. So these are actually the people who occupies the pavement region. The cobblers, vegetable sellers, and cheap ready-made clothes sellers sit on the ground in front of the shops. Thus, the wide road is reduced to a narrow lane. Finally, so many vendors occupying the pavement area, and the wide road is ultimately reduced to a narrow lane. There is peace and quietness in the morning, as there is very little activity in the market. So in the morning time, there is peace and solace. And why? The other reason is that in the morning time, very little activity goes on. Children and adults are busy at home. The street comes to life as the day advances and the shop starts opening. Now, with the advancement of time, with the passing of the hours, the streets comes to life and the actual business of the day starts. By 11 o'clock, the street begins to hum with activities. People from villages start pouring in for shopping. People from villages, they also come for shopping purpose. Afternoons are busier as local housewives also go for shopping. As early evening approaches, more vegetable and fruit vendors appear. During the early evening time, more vendors and fruit sellers appear. The scene is transformed with the switching on of lights, and as it darkens, as the evening proceeds, the entire scene becomes more busier. The entire place becomes more busier. The atmosphere becomes bright, gay, and festive. Well dressed people can be seen shopping for children and visiting restaurants. It is indeed a time for family outing. And social gathering starts. Family outing also starts. Roads are crowded as people start coming back from offices, factories, and outstation. Because the work is over in the offices, so people from the offices, from the factories, and also from the outstations, they used to gather. The only blemish in this street is that stray cattle like cows, buffaloes, dogs, pigs, and monkeys wander freely on the road and cause inconvenience to all. Inconvenience means great difficulties. Now, the only negative aspect apart from the busy market scene is the stray moving recklessly of the stray cattle. And what are those stray cattle? Cows, buffaloes, dogs, pigs, and monkeys. Sometimes monkeys also. They wander freely on the road and they cause a lot of difficulties or inconvenience to all the people. So, that was the explanation related with the article that dealt with the sights and sounds of our city. Maybe some points been included by me. If you want, you can elaborate as far as your choice. I am moving on to another important article. I am just going through the question once. You are Aditi or Aditya. You visited the Taj at Agra during the autumn break when the Historical Society of your school organized a trip. You were impressed and noted the following points. Now, the points: autumn break, school closed, trip to Agra organized, journey, Taj Express, first sight of the Taj, impressions, history teacher as guide, some other places visited, Red Fort, Fatehpur Sikri, trip, educative and entertaining. Now, these are the verbal input. These are the points, or we can say the verbal input. Now, using the above points or notes and your own ideas, write an article on a visit to a place of historical interest in 150 to 200 words. Now, already the title has been mentioned in the question also, a visit to a place of historical interest, and the word limit 150 to 200. So, verbal input points are already been given. Now, how we will approach? My explanation, in this explanation you might feel that the word limit might be less, but only the important points I have highlighted in the sample solutions also, and when I will discuss those important points only. You might elaborate it later, but the first important thing is to know the concept and to get some ideas related to any topic that is given in the question paper. So, a visit to a place of historical interest by Aditi or Aditya. Now, how we will start? The schools, and remember, your article writing solution should depend on the points been given. You have to follow the points and you have to write in a very logical manner. So, I continue. The schools in Delhi closed for autumn break on Saturday, the 27th September. You can mention any date, that's up to you. That's not a big issue. The Historical Society of our school arranged a trip to Agra We started early in the morning the next day by the Taj Express. Because these important informations are already in the points, you have to elaborate those informations. The 2 hour journey was very pleasant and quite comfortable. After half an hour, we had the first glimpse of the Taj. So, after half an hour, when we reached Agra, we got a great glimpse or view of the Taj. It is indeed a marvel in marvel. Marvel means something related with wonder, and that marvel was created by marble, one of the wonders of the world. Indeed, the great Taj Mahal, the artistic excellence and the beauty of Taj Mahal is one of the wonders of the world. The serene beauty, serene means something that is very aesthetic, that is very peaceful. The serene beauty of the Taj cast a spell on me. It appeared to me like a dream in marble. Our history teacher played the role of a guide as well. Not only that, our history teacher also played the role of our guide and also our mentor. He explained each part of this monument in detail. It was our history teacher who explained each part of the monument in detail. Then we visited other places of historical interest, such as the Red Fort and the Moti Masjid. Now, apart from Taj, the great Taj, we visited other places. And what are those places? You might find in the verbal input points also. Red Fort as well as Moti Masjid. The visit to Fatehpur Sikri and the Buland Darwaza filled us with excitement. Maybe some of the places' names you should know on your own if you want to write a topic related with a historical place of interest. You might not find every points in the verbal input. You might find some. You have to include some more. So Fatehpur Sikri and Buland Darwaza was also a great experience visiting those places. The historical town is now uninhabited. No one stays there. On the whole, the entire trip means the entire tour or journey, proved very educative and entertaining. For the first time, history appeared as a vivid and living subject. For the first time, history that considered to be a boring subject, it appeared to be a vivid and a lively one. So, dear students, I discussed 2 article writing, solved one, with some points that has been given by me earlier. Go through the audio, listen to it very carefully, and if there is any doubt, you can ask me in some of my other audios. I will discuss some more article writings also. Thank you, students. Thank you all.